Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 40. Use crypto to bypass corruption. Binance includes XRP and Litecoin in crypto lending, and Gemini launches Gemini custody. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in today. I hope you're having a great Tuesday night or afternoon, depending on what you're watching us from. Now, if you are catching this stream live, welcome. And if you are catching the replay and have any suggestions, leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you're thinking, right? If you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe. You hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. We are live every day. So if you're watching us for the second or third time and have not done it yet, you should definitely hit that subscribe, right? If you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is on, you can join us on the Discord. The link is in the description. And we are active on the Discord. We post almost daily updates on the market as they are happening. So you should probably think about joining us, right? Anyways, on to the articles. Now, Venezuela is faced with hyperinflation and borders closed to human aid. So Venezuelans are turning to cryptocurrency as a workaround to government-controlled money. Right? Aid providers say digital currencies are becoming an important route to bypassing corruption or repressive regimes. Now, digital currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum are being used to protect against Venezuelan inflation, which could reach 10 million% this year. I mean, that's a lot of inflation, right? Now, that's according to the International Monetary Fund, right? Charities have turned to digital assets to circumvent President Nicolas Maduro's chokehold on the country's economic and ban on foreign aid. Now, a guy named Moises Rendon, who is a fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, stated that digital currencies and the blockchain technology that they use could cut down on aid lost through local corruption. Now, he was referencing a 2012 speech by Ban Ki-moon when he was Secretary General of the United Nations. Mr. Moon said that corruption prevented 30% of the UN development assistance from reaching its final destination the previous year. Now, I believe it's really interesting that people are doing this, and since it's decentralized, it's a good workaround while it lasts, right? Because at some point in time, they probably are gonna crack down on the exchanges that are linked to bank accounts to be able to turn it into fiat. I know that some stores in Venezuela, at least the major supermarket chain there, takes Bitcoin as per some articles, so people might be able to get around at least somewhat on crypto. But at some point in time, if you need to turn it into fiat, the government might crack down on the exchanges and tag those bank accounts, right? And it might make it harder. So it's just a possibility, right? But I mean, I believe that this is one of the good parts of cryptocurrency, and that's what I wanted to talk about it. I found this article very appealing for the case that, not all crypto is used for crime, not all crypto is bad, but some crypto it's also used for good, right? And we should keep that in mind always. Even though most of the crypto is used for good, the bad news sometimes end up weighing more than the good stuff, and that's the way life goes usually, right? People focus more on the negative than on the positive. I can't remember who, but someone told me once that for every negative action, you need to make 10 positive actions to kind of counter it, right? Or make people kind of forget you had a negative action. Anyways, on to the next article. Gemini has unveiled a cryptocurrency storage service called Gemini Custody. This is from their PR release. Now, with this service, users can trade instantly from cold storage crypto assets to store offline. The Gemini Custody will allow users to store 18 different types of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Zcash, and some ERC20 tokens like CRX, REP, BAT, BREAD, DAI, Decentralized, Engine, Flexicoin, Gemini Dollar, Kyber Network, Loom Network, Maker, and Omise Go. Anyway, so if you guys want to do some custodial services for your crypto, you can go to Gemini, and they are accepting a lot more crypto now. On something else that I want to talk about is I found it weird that they're not taking Ripple, right? I'm not sure. I never used Gemini, so I'm not sure if they take Ripple or if they exchange something for Ripple. But I mean, they certainly listed some of the more major coins, but Ripple was not listed there, right? Not Ripple, but XRP, meaning. Yeah. Anyways, on to the next one. We're gonna go look at market cap right now. Yesterday we had a negative day, right? Losing some market cap, money flowing out of the market, 1.68%, closing at 252.3 billion dollars. Right now, losing a little bit, 0.08%, sitting at 252.1 billion. Yeah. Anyway, so money flowing out right now. That is fine, nothing to worry about. Not such huge amounts of money flowing out of the market right now. Day is young, just started 2 hours ago, so we can still go up. That'll be fine. Bitcoin dominance, lost dominance yesterday, right? And that is good because that means alts are gaining dominance, and we want alts to gain dominance, so they're a little bit more independent and more resistant to Bitcoin fluctuations. Now, yesterday you lost 0.37% dominance from an opening of 72.22, closing at 71.93. Right now, losing dominance 0.02, sitting at 71.92, right, percent of market. Now, onto the Bitcoin articles. You guys remember Akon, the rapper? In a radio interview, he basically bashed the perception that fiat currencies are any less valuable, to a claim that crypto assets lack intrinsic value, right? And he says nothing backs the U.S. dollar. The U.S. doesn't have natural resources that back the dollar. What they do have is military, right? National fiat currencies have long ceased to be backed by physical commodities or natural resources, he noted, going on to argue that the US dollar is ultimately sustained only by convention and military might. Now, I find that really interesting, right? Because it is true. What gives the dollar the power, right? But you have an industry that's backing it. Not just that, right? He was basically focusing on putting a value based on reserves, but you have an industry, land, some other things that are worth something that back your currency, right? So I'm not 100% with him on what he's stating. I just find that an interesting point that he's basically saying it's basically military that backs the dollar. Now, he's bullish on cryptocurrency, right? Because it is the people, not the vested interest of the national governments, that wield control over the value. And well, that is true, right? Because it's decentralized, and so long as people hold the majority of it, people still have more power over the value of the actual crypto. On another article, Dan Tapiero, the co-founder of Gold Bullion International, stated the following in regards to Bitcoin, right, during an interview with business news outlet Alpha Week. He basically stated what it is an invention, and I think it should be referred to as an invention rather than to all the other things. It's what it really is? It's a truth machine. It is a way to eradicate all fraud or lying by human beings. And Bitcoin could certainly, with transparency, or at least knowing who the addresses belong to, some of that could be eradicated, right? All that hiding accounts and money, right? And being able to trace it and all that plays a positive role. Now, let's go on to the Bitcoin chart, right? What happened with Bitcoin? Oh, we called it yesterday, or we called it today during the chat. We actually have it, right? Anyways, let's say this real quick on the daily, because then we're going to go on the 4 hours where we actually went on Discord on record to say what was going on. Right now, what is going on? We are sitting below that 20 MA. Volatility open on the Bollinger Bands. What else is going on? Rejecting lower prices for the time being. It's starting to make less positive momentum. We might get a cross off the MACD over the signal line, which could potentially mean price action to the downside still. Sitting on the RSI at 45.92, 91 right now. More or less on the neutral, right? Let's see if we can see something here. We had a downsloping channel that we had traced, and it's still holding, so that's all we have to go on right now. Until we make a new island of negative momentum, we might make some bullish divergence on the daily that we can call out, right? Anyways, let's go on the 4 hours and let's look at the Discord, because we did go on the Discord and stated that potential bullish divergence developing on the 1 hour chart, same on the 4 hour chart, right? And we actually went in and drew it right as it was happening, right? And we said potential because the hour had not confirmed, or the 4 hour candle had not confirmed. We could have still dropped lower, made more negative momentum, and then it wouldn't have played out maybe, but Anyways, we were warning people that what we were seeing, right? Here's the 1 hour, right? What was going on? Anyways, what happened? We had that divergence. It held price action to the upside. Even in this 4 hour candle, we had a nice long wick, right? Being rejected by the 20 MA, but still went up all the way to 10,305. So if you wouldn't gone in when we were talking about this divergence maybe playing out, you probably would have gone in around 9,965 or something like that, and you could have easily made a little bit of money. We're not financial advisors; we won't tell you what to do, but I mean, we are certainly pointing out whatever we're seeing that could develop. Right, it's your risk whether or not you the calls that you make. Right. Anyways, we have two divergence forming. Right, from here to here, we have one right here and right here. Right. Not so much on the RSI, but yes on the histogram. On the MACD histogram, right? And then we have the second one from here to here, right? Same points. And we're making a lower low with less negative momentum, right? Anyways, let's go on the 1 hour. Or we're sitting low on the RSI here at 38. So we're on the sold, but not oversold. But definitely on that area where we can have a lot of potential to run to the upside, right? Not a lot, some potential. Down here on the oversold, we definitely have a lot of potential to run to the upside. Anyways, let's go on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, this is where when we were going live, right, on that 2 p.m. candle. And look at that, man. From here all the way to up here, right? In a couple of hours, man. Some nice money to be made, right? Anyways, right now, sitting below 20 MA, volatility open on the Bollinger Band. Still within this channel. We haven't changed it. All we did from yesterday when we were around here, or here, I can't remember where it was last night. Somewhere around here, I think. We traced this channel. All we did was just extend it. We are still within that down sloping channel. Sitting below at 20 MA, sitting below at midline, starting to make less negative momentum, which is fine. We might get a cross of the MACD over the signal line, which might see us to some price action to the upside. However, we're failing to make a pull to the upside, basically. And we might stagnate here a little bit, and we could create more negative momentum. However, I would expect us to at least neutralize it and make a little bit of positive momentum and see if we can develop something else, right? Anyways, here's that divergence that we were talking about, right? From here to here, right? That's it for Bitcoin. We're gonna move on to news for who are we gonna move on to now? Ethereum. If you haven't done it yet, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Right? We're live every day and we are really active. Anyways, on Ethereum. The event that's going to be titled Microsoft and Huobi Blockchain in Practice is scheduled to take place on September the 12th at Microsoft Norway headquarters in Oslo. Right now, the event participants will have the opportunity to learn about DLT, Distributed Ledger Technology, for those of you that don't know. Basically, platforms of DLT being developed by Microsoft, Huobi, and other companies. Now, Huobi will be officially announcing the launch of NAMI, which is powered by Microsoft Azure. Now, the NAMI protocol will serve as an interoperability and scaling solution that may enhance the performance and utility of DLT networks, according to the release, right? Based on the Ethereum blockchain, NAMI is reportedly compatible with smart contracts-enabled DLT platforms. And NAMI has been decided to increase throughput, provide near zero latency, maintain near instant transaction finality, while offering consistent low transaction fees. Interesting, right? Let's see how it develops, especially since we know that Ethereum is getting a little bit overcrowded and gas fees might go up with the Istanbul fork. Now, some of the main uses for NAMI include enhancing gaming applications, Internet of Things devices, trading, and content distribution. So basically, it's going to be useful for many things, particularly gaming. I think is where we're going to see more of that use, right? Reducing that friction in gaming, and that's going to be interesting. Now, that's the only article we have for Ethereum. We're going to move on to the chart, and then we're going to move on to Ripple news. Ethereum on the daily. What is happening with Ethereum, right? Well, making positive we're gaining dominance, right, in the market. Yesterday gained 1.29%. Right now, gaining 0.27%. That is fine. Price action has right now it's to the upside, right, and that's good. Bitcoin was to the upside a couple minutes ago. What happened? Anyways, we traced this channel the other day. We broke out of it. Basically, we are not going really high, right? We haven't passed that midline of that downsloping channel that we've been in since, when do we call it? July. So we haven't been able to pass that midline right now. Some volatility is starting to close on the Bollinger Bands. We're sitting above that 20 MA right now, and that's fine. Making positive momentum still on the daily, and that's good. Still diverging on the MACD line and the signal line, and we are sitting on the RSI around 45, which is still in the neutral zone, right, from 60 to 40. That puts us on very neutral ground, on the sold but not oversold, right? Not even in the dangerous zone of sold. Let's go to the 4 hours and see what's happening. On the 4 hours, right, so more contraction happening in the Bollinger Bands, failing to break above that 20 MA right now, rejecting higher prices. We were making bearish divergence, right? And we talked about it, or a sort of bearish divergence. If we consider the wicks or not, that was a debate yesterday. If we don't consider it, then we're not making it, we said. But if we consider them, we could make it price action to the downside. Maybe we should have considered those wicks, right? Anyways, right now, MACD sitting below that that signal line. That's what we're seeing, negative momentum. Starting to neutralize right now. Let's hope we can make some nice price action to the upside, neutralizing that negative momentum and potentially seeing better prices, right? Sitting around 52 on the RSI, which is on the neutral zone. We broke out of this downsloping wedge. We have not seen that nice measure move that we would like to see on Ethereum, which we stated yesterday could put us around the 300 area, right? Or a little bit higher than that. Let's go on the 1 hour. Ethereum on the 1 hour, sitting below that 20 MA, sitting at 0 right now, or 0.22 right now. It's very little that we're doing. Anyways, volatility open in the Bollinger Band, starting to contract. Starting to make positive momentum, at least 3 bars of positive momentum right now. No signs of it stopping. However, we're not seeing a very strong upwards movement to keep the momentum going, so we might stagnate and then start making negative momentum again. Sitting around 49 on the RSI, that is fine, nothing to worry there. What I'm seeing here, right, and maybe we might be doing another channel of sorts. Maybe, huh? The thing is, do we want to consider this wick or not? If we consider it, then we get this, right? Something like this. You know what? I'm not going to consider it, and I'm going to trace it from the bottom to the top, and it might be better for everyone. Do we want to go here? No, we're going to ignore it. We're going to go here. Do we get better touch points? That is the question. If we go here, we will be making a sort of upsloping channel, more or less, right? We're getting some resistance at that midline. We're getting some support at that midline around here. Which could be fine, or I mean, it depends on what you want to see in the market, right? I've told you guys plenty of times. We could go here and here, and then if you want to be more negative, oh man, we are on a down sloping channel. We need a down sloping channel. You know, we're gonna crash and burn. Just kidding. We're not. We're basically gonna do what the market does, right? Bitcoin had that impulse up. Ethereum had that impulse up. Everyone's having that impulse up. That is fine. We're basically following Bitcoin's game right now, and we've said it, right? If Bitcoin crashes, we crash. If Bitcoin goes up, we will go up because they're the larger part of the market. However, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin's losing market cap right now and the alts are gaining it. Ethereum market cap sitting at 7.72. Bitcoin was sitting at $10,086. I believe I didn't say it. And Ethereum right now is sitting at $180.19. Anyways, I'm going to get rid of this. Right, maybe we should consider this week. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't want to consider it. I think it's just FOMO, and we could certainly extend this and see that the channel extends a little bit farther back. Right, we can even go here. Right, we're fine, but I like it here. We get better contact points in some areas. Anyways, I'm gonna call it an upsloping channel right now because it's a larger trend that we're in. Again, we have not been able to break above that 50 line of that midline of the channel, and you know, we haven't seen that violent movement to the upside that we would have expected to see when we broke out of that wedge. That's it for Ethereum. Let's move on to Ripple. The Ripple article that I have is not really a Ripple article. It talks about MoneyGram, but it's the only article I found, and I think it's interesting, right? Anyways, MoneyGram announced yesterday the new debit card deposit service with Visa. Now, the service works with Visa's real-time payment platform, Visa Direct, which will make it possible for MoneyGram customers to transfer money to over 1 billion Visa cards using MoneyGram. Now, MoneyGram users will be able to send the money to debit cards via the MoneyGram app or the website. The cost of the service starts at $1.99 per deposit. Maybe they should be using Ripple for this because I think the cost will be much less. Anyways, Ripple as you know, bought 30 million stake in MoneyGram back in June of this year, and basically they have an option to buy another 20 million, I think, of MoneyGram, and they might exercise that option, right? It's open. Now it isn't sure, like I said, whether or not they're gonna be using the XRP token for this. It's not likely at the moment. The article actually does state the same, right? It says, will the service utilize XRP? And they basically say they don't know. So they just go on around that question, but they don't really answer it. I think they're not going to use it. Visa might want to stick with with fiat, and the fee that they're charging, I think it's higher than what they would have to charge if they were using Ripple, because sorry, not Ripple, XRP. If they were using XRP, it would be a fraction of the cost, and we're seeing a much higher cost, right? Anyways, let's go on to Ripple on the daily. What is going on with Ripple, man? We're not able to do much. Anyways, yesterday we had a nice positive day, gaining some dominance, 1.69%. Right now we're losing a little bit of dominance, 0.18. Like I said, the day just started 2 hours ago. Let's see how we break, right, upside or downside. On the price, oh man, we are still within that channel, but failing to make a nice green candle, right? We are bound by that channel. We can call it valid. I might just extend it when we go into the 1 hour. Starting to make less positive momentum, still diverging on the MACD line and signal line. That is fine. We're sitting below at 20 MA. We actually got rejected on this last candle by the 20 MA. That's not usually, we should at least try to be above it, right? We haven't been above that 20 MA for a while now on the daily. Man, look at this. We haven't been above that 20 MA since August the 5th. So over a month, sitting below that 20 MA. I hope we break above it. Usually when we break above the 20 MA, sometimes we see very nice impulses to the upside. This time we were above the 20 MA. It was very short-lived. It was just by 1 day, I think. We stayed over it 1 or 2 days. And then we just basically broke down, right? After that, before that, we were over that 20 MA on... Last time we were over that 20 MA was the 26th of June. So Ripple is being very weak right now. Not showing any strength. Even though it has shown bullish divergence, like we called it on all the other altcoins, we are not seeing it play out. And that's very worrying because... we might break down to the downside, right? We have been holding on to this support around the 25% area. But if we break down from that, we talked about it, right? There's no support until this other zone, and that zone starts at the 20 cents and goes all the way down to the 14 cents. So potential lower prices if we break down from here, right? We might fabricate some sort of fake support for a while, but there's nothing else to hold us for right now. Someone just subscribed. Awesome. Hi, Atlanta Cat. How's it going, man? I hope you're watching the stream, and if you are, thank you for watching. Anyways, like I said, we are sitting below at 20 MA. Let's go look at the more micro scale. On the 4 hours, what is going on the 4 hours? On the 4 hours, again, sitting below at 20 MA, volatility open on the Bollinger Bands. It was starting to close a little bit, but now we're seeing it starting to open up a little bit, generating a little bit more volatility. Making negative momentum, not signs of stopping. Divergence still of the MACD under the signal line. We could still make negative momentum or stagnate for a little bit before we actually cross them, unless we jump on price violently. We're not going to see it. You're in UV. Hi. Yeah, welcome. That's fine. No worries. If you have any questions about any of the coins that we talk about or any other coin, if we have knowledge of that, we will be happy to talk, right? And address your questions. That's what we're here for. Anyway, sitting below that 45, we're sitting around 46 on the RSI, Relative Strength Index, for those of you that don't know. Well, like we said, from 60 to 40, it's the neutral zone, right? That plus 10, minus 10. Then from 60 to 70 and 40 to 30 would be like more or less bought or sold areas, right? And then we would be either overbought or oversold, right? And then we can see more price action. But right now we are just within this channel. We have not been able to break either upside or downside, right? We dipped below it a couple hours ago on that 11 a.m. candle, but we closed within the channel, so we are fine. We are sitting below that midline. We haven't been able to break above it since 7 in the morning. Yesterday, I think. No, today, 7 in the morning. Anyways, let's go look at a more micro scale and see what's going on. Right now, let's see. Anything here? No, we're not making any sort of divergence right now on the 4 hour. Let's go more micro, right? The 1 hour scale. Sitting below that 20 MA, volatility open on the Bollinger Bands. You can see that's wildly open, so we can usually see movements a little bit more violent when that happens. Starting to make less negative momentum, starting to stagnate now. Potentially might neutralize it and see price action to the upside. Still diverging a little bit less now on the MACD under the signal line, right? The MACD being the blue line, signal line being that red line, and sitting around 42.63 on the RSI. Again, we have more room to run to the upside than the downside. Are we doing something here? Let's see. That's a good question, right? I mean, we're higher lows, making lower lows. That's fine. We're going with the market, and right now on the positive, right? We're not developing any divergence right now that would indicate like a strong price action, right? Not even hidden. So right now, let's say we're going with the market. We're within this channel. Until we develop some divergence, we might see a price action like we called on Bitcoin yesterday or today, and like we called on Litecoin yesterday, right? We have no news for Litecoin today, so we're just going to jump straight into the chart. And after Litecoin, we do have news for Binance, 2 articles, I think. Let's look at that Litecoin and see what it's doing, right? On Litecoin, dominance, right? How much it's of the market, it's Litecoin right now. Oh, I didn't say price of Ripple. Ripple's sitting at 25 cents. To be exact, the 5 figures is 0.25734. On the daily, what is going on with Litecoin on the daily? I think we might be making some positive dominance. Yes, we are. Everyone's getting dominance against Bitcoin, and that is good. Sitting at 3.07% right now, going down a little bit, 0.19, right? Yesterday, again, the market for cryptos closes at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So we just started the new day for cryptos. For those of you that don't know how the market moves, right? It's a 24-hour market. It's always open, always trading, and always pumping sometimes. Right now, it's kind of been dumping, though. Anyways, yesterday, like I said, positive day, 3.07% up. Right now, going down, 0.19. Still making positive momentum on the MACD histogram, diverging off the MACD line over the signal line, sitting quite neutral on the RSI at 51. So we could go either way, right? But that is dominance, and we don't analyze dominance. Let's go on to the price of Litecoin. Litecoin sitting at $70.59. Hi, new person watching. I just noticed someone else joined, but if you have any questions, please make sure you can drop them on the chat, right? We're here to talk. Anyways, on the daily, what is going on? We had a positive day yesterday, right? Still within this upsloping channel that we traced. What happened, right? I mean, we traced some divergence. Did it play out? Yes, it did. We called it and we shown it yesterday, or we showed it today on the Discord, right? This is our Discord. We went on and stated, look, we called this divergence yesterday and we said price action to the downside. We did get it. It wasn't very violent, but we were expecting some price action to the downside from what we were seeing, right? And same thing happening on the 1 hour, right? That divergence, you can see it better here. Price action to the downside. We were making some bullish divergence that we called out as well during the day, right? Right here and here. And we said bearish divergence, right? On Litecoin playing out, starting to develop bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Did it play out? Yeah, I think it did, because we're seeing positive or price action to the upside a little bit, right? Let's go look at what happened. We broke out of this downsloping wedge. We have not been able to have a lot of momentum going on, or basically a good pump on price. We usually expect to see a measured move of the pattern. We're sitting above that 20 MA, some volatility open on the Bollinger Bands, and that is fine. Like I said, positive momentum, divergence of the lines, and making 46 on the RSI, which is quite neutral. Let's go on the 4 hours and see what happened, right? We called this divergence yesterday. This was the stream that we were doing. It was around 9 p.m. We were saying potentially, right? It did play out, down sloping price. Here we said price action to the upside. We did get that small pump to the upside. So if you don't join our Discord, you're going to miss out on whenever we watch this little things develop, right? That we usually call out. Anyways, what is going on right now? We have dipped, right, making negative momentum. No signs of stopping right now, even though we're making higher prices. Well, are we doing something divergence-wise? No, we just had this divergence play out. On the 1 hour, we had something better. Here, we also had divergence, right? From here to here, which would have been that same line from here to here, right? So what else is happening? Sitting off of that 20 MA volatility open, RSI sitting at 55. We're basically neutral on the RSI, so really not much going on. Still within that channel, and until we break it, we're not gonna do much, right? Or until we develop some sort of divergence that we can break, we're not gonna do much, right? Anyways, let me fix this a little bit. I think I just moved it. There we go. Now let's go into the 1 hour. What is going on the 1 hour? We are making some contraction on the Bollinger Bands. We might expect to see a more violent movement if we get a little bit more contraction. Right now, we had this divergence that we set potential price action to the upside. We did get it over the next couple of hours, like we stated. Are we making a lower low? Yes, we are. From here to here, it was a divergence, right? We are making negative momentum right now. We know we should potentially start to stagnate on, unless Bitcoin drops and then we drop with it. But we are sitting around 48.27 on the RSI. That is fine. Like I said, that's quite neutral. Most of the coins, the altcoins, are neutral right now on the RSI on different scales. Right. So we're just waiting for for us to drop a little bit more and make a little bit more less negative momentum, and then we can make a lower low and make some more bullish divergence that might have us pop up to the upside. At least that's what I would expect to see, right? Right now, there's nothing else saying price action to the upside. We are seeing below a support, or now resistance, 70.81. Let's wait and see what happens, right? Hey, someone else turned in. Thank you for watching, guys. Let's go on to the Binance. What is happening with Binance? Well, Binance, it's starting the third phase of Binance lending, and it will include XRP, Litecoin, and USDC. The basic concept of the scheme is simple. We discussed it in an earlier episode, but we're going to talk about it again real quick, right? You deposit your tokens for a fixed term, which is 14 days, and you received a fixed interest rates, paid in tokens on maturity. It's not a Ponzi scheme. They are actually lending it to people that use margin trading, so they know they're going to get a return on that money, right? Anyways, phase 2 of the product includes a 28-day term option. It's not live right now, so participants are limited to 14 days. And basically, the subscription cap, there's a subscription cap to the amount of each token that is accepted in a phase. And it's also limited to basically how much an individual can lend. Now, this time around, the interest is set to be annualized rate of 7% for Binance, for the coins that we discussed. For Binance Coin and Tether, I think we're talking about 15% for Binance and 10% for Tether annualized rate. This article now states that it's 10% for Binance and Tether. The previous article we covered, like I said, 15 and 10, right? Anyways, Ripple has a total subscription cap of 1 million XRP with an individual cap of 50,000 XRP, right? That's the maximum amount that you're able to put on that lend platform. Now, at that 7 interest rate that we get, 100% XRP would yield you 0.268493 XRP, which is almost a quarter of an XRP, right? Of a token. Now, interest rate, that'll be the interest rate at the end of the 14 days, right? That's how much you would get. Anyways, Litecoin has a total subscription cap of 6,000 Litecoin with an individual cap for each person of 300 tokens. Now, in case anyone is interested or uses it, Binance Coin will be listed on Bitmart. Now, the coin will be available in 2 trading pairs. It's going to be Bitcoin, Binance Coin to Bitcoin, and Binance Coins to the USD Tether. Well, that's it for the news part. Now we're going to move on to the Binance Coin, and then if no one has any questions, we'll basically end the stream, right? We're almost done. Let's see what's going on with Binance on the daily. Yesterday, we had a small positive day, gaining 0.9% dominance. Right now, losing dominance, 0.5%. Not very much movement. I mean, as you can see, just very downsloping, but, everyone's been losing dominance to Bitcoin. Binance, it's a little bit more of an exchange coin, so it gets used a little bit more. That's why we might not see that much loss on dominance. Now, anyway, sitting at 1.34% of the whole market cap dominance, right? It's very little compared to Bitcoin's 70-some-odd percent that we discussed earlier. Anyways, price of Binance to the dollar, it's sitting at $21.55. What is going on? We're still within this downsloping channel that we traced. Haven't been able to break out of it. We had some bullish divergence. I'm not sure it played out as well as we would have hoped for Binance. We are sitting below at 20 MA, volatility open on the Bollinger Bands, starting to make positive momentum, but as we can see, we might get a cross off the signal line over the MACD, which might make more negative momentum and, again, potential price action to the downside. We are sitting low on the RSI at 35. Again, more room to run to the upside than the downside. That is fine. All the bullish signals that we've had have not played out, right? Including this one. This one was 0.61. Yeah, 7.4. So yeah, we had it here. We erased it the other day, but from here to here, it's a lower low, right? We're making less negative momentum. That is class A or type 1 strong bullish divergence, and is really not playing out to that price action to the upside that we want to see when we have bullish divergence. You know, basically because Bitcoin is also not playing ball. Let's go on the 4 hours and see what's going on. On the 4 hours, some contraction on the Bollinger Bands. I would have expected a much violent movement sitting above that 50% line of that channel that we traced. Right now, sitting below a 20 MA, making negative momentum a little bit more than before. Are we making something? We had some sort of bullish divergence. We said it might play out. It was not a very strong type of bullish divergence. It's a class C or weak bullish divergence that we developed here. Potentially even hidden bullish divergence, right? So it wasn't very, very strong movement that we were expecting to see. However, we did have, and we cleared the charts the other day because they were getting cluttered, but we had this bearish divergence, class A, or strong bearish divergence developing. That's why we saw price action to the downside. We're already expecting it. We cleared it because we had already seen it play out, and we were basically trying to get the charts a little bit cleaner. Sitting low on the RSI 37, like we said. Now let's go on the 1 hour and see what's going on. On the 1 hour, sitting below at 20 MA, we got some rejection of a nice candle we were forming as soon as we try to break above that 20 MA. Volatility is open on the Bollinger Bands, making more negative momentum right now. There's two ways that we can play this one out, and I'll talk about them in a second, right? MACD line sitting below the signal line, and no signs of them converging anytime soon, or at least not in the next 2 or 3 hours, right? That would be the soon time for the 1 hour scale. We are seeing low on the RSI at 32 on the sold part, heading to that oversold territory, which again, if we break into that oversold, potential price action to the upside. Why are we saying that there's two ways to see this, right? If we ignore the wicks, right? This candle hasn't closed yet, but if we ignore the wicks and the way this candle is going, whatever the body is, right? So long as it's below where it's sitting right now, right? Which would be a straight line right here. So if we go from here to here, and we don't make any more, any larger negative momentum, we would be creating a basically a medium type of bullish divergence, which would be a class B or type 2, which again might indicate price action to the upside. Right now, if we take into account the wicks, then we are not, because we're basically just going with the market. So two ways of looking at it, depends on what you guys want to see on the market right now. Sitting low on the RSI, I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't go a little bit lower and go into oversold territory. However, I believe that we might get a pump to the upside, right? This is not really a pool, but anyways, yeah, that'll be it. Cool. Does anyone have any questions? Or talk about any other coins? Let us know. So, Atlanta Cat, are you from Atlanta, or just the name? If you're still in the chat, I mean, I'm not sure if you're still with us, but Soka, are you here, man? You're usually here, but I think you're quiet today. If you are here, manifest yourself. We want to know. Anyways, yeah. So again, if there's no more questions, I'm trying to figure out how much delay I have on the stream. With the number 1 here, and then count seconds. So about 10 seconds. All right, cool. Hi, Soka. How's it going, man? Thank you for being here, man. You guys might have a little bit more delay. Anyways, yeah. If no one else has any questions or comments, I mean, that we can talk about or discuss, we'll basically call it a night for today. Guys, thank you for watching. Again, happy Tuesday night. Sorry, I'm lost in the week again. Dogecoin. Okay, cool. What question do you have about Dogecoin? I usually don't do articles about Dogecoin, but we can certainly look at it. I think it's Doggy. Let's see. I want to see something that is to the USD, right? Wow, this is Dogecoin. It looks really weird right now. Let's go get the daily. Okay, cool. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Dogecoin. We haven't analyzed it in a while, or ever actually, but it's a good coin, I think, for to analyze. What are we doing right now? Well, we're kind of like going in a very large downsloping channel of sorts, right? If we don't want to call it a channel, it could certainly be a type of wedge, maybe. If we go here, I mean, we could certainly see a wedge, a downsloping wedge happening, right? I'm gonna ignore this and go here because I get more contact points, right? 2, 3. This will be a downsloping wedge, similar to what everyone else was in, right? Prior to those pumps, and we could even go here and maybe get, yeah. If we go here, we might get more touch points, right? We want 1, 2, 3. Maybe 3 touch points. Anyways, volatility not very open on the Bollinger Band, sitting below that 20 MA. We might get a cross of the MACD over the signal line, making some negative momentum. We have seen that we are stagnating right now, making less positive momentum, and sitting around 42 on the RSI, which is low but not too low, right? What type of coin is it? This coin, I think it started with a teacher. And it was basically a project for his students that he could also make a coin. But it's not really one of the big coins, you know. It was one of the older coins that it's around, but it's not very useful, and it's worth very little. It's worth like 0.02, yeah, 0.002 cents, or yeah, 0.002, yeah, dollars. So not even 1 cent, right? Not even a quarter of a cent right now. So 20% of 1 cent. It's like a kind of a joke coin, right? Actually, even the face of the coin, it's a meme. It's that little like dog meme, right? So I'll show you an image, right? Would it work here? This is Dogecoin. So it was more of a joke coin that started to go around, and it became a little bit popular. Like I said, it was a project by a teacher that wanted to show his students, oh man, I closed that other thing. Trading view, there we go. I closed it by accident. Anyways, we were looking at Dogecoin. Yeah, it's really not doing much. I mean, the more it's been worth, at least in the short term, it's like 0.005 cents. The most it was worth during the hype of like the crypto market, right? Or 2017, the highest it got was here, which was like 0.019 cents. So not even 2 cents. And this one started a while back. We might not have all the market data here. And it might maybe start even farther back. Some of these data, I'm not sure if it's really accurate. I know it goes way back, right? 2014 is one of the older coins. I would consider it maybe around here, the starting point. And like I said, it was developed by a teacher. It was kind of like a joke coin. It's like open source, peer-to-peer, you know. It's I think the teacher had a Shiba Inu. That's why they have that dog on Dogecoin. So yeah, that's yeah. Like I said, I'm not really into Doge. We haven't really done it, but I'll try to get more research into Doge and let you know, because what I know is that's just that small history. But I haven't really gone into too much detail with it, right? So, like I said, it's decentralized, peer-to-peer. Other than that, I mean, I'm not even sure which exchanges might have it. I can look here. Dogecoin, you can trade it on Bittrex, Poloniex, Binance, HitBTC, and that'll be it. Mainly paired to other cryptos, right? Like Ethereum, USDC or USD Coin, USD Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Yeah, that'll be about it, right? And then usually the USD charts are calculated by TradingView, meaning that it's not an actual pair to a fiat. So you would need to basically exchange it for something else before you can actually buy something else. But look, Doge, I'm not sure how liquid it is. The volume is very little as well. Here I have to zoom in a lot. You can even see that right here on this bottom part where I have the mouse going on or moving around. That's where we would see the volume, right? And I mean, even if I zoom in a lot, there's almost no volume. And if we go on the 1 hour, you're gonna see very sharp movements, right? And with very little candle wicks, meaning that all the price action has been around this area. And it wouldn't be any surprise because we're talking about the, let's see, this would be the bottom part. So from 0.0022 cents to, let's call this a top-ish average, right? So 0.0024. You would need to hold a lot of Dogecoin for you to be able to like make a profit, right? Or move it and not be killed by the exchange. And you will need, here you will need volume, right? And on the 4 hours, what is going on in the 4 hours? I mean, it's so choppy bar wise that it's hard. It's a 1 hour that is hard to like find divergence, right? Makes it really awkward to look at, right? Look at how choppy it is. It looks like saw teeth, right? Anyways, let's look at the 4 hours, see if we can see something better. Lower low here. Where are we? We could, if I ignore if I ignore these islands here of negative momentum from here to here. I mean from here to here, and I'm gonna ignore these two islands here. It would be from here to here basically. We would be making sort of like a bullish divergence, like a class A or type 1, right? So it would go up. Yeah. Look, you shouldn't, or you should go with a coworker told you to buy some. You should try to get what, like, there's some other coins that are more liquid that have more fluctuations in the market. And I believe that usually those are the best coins to hold because if you need to get out of a position, it's really easy to get out of. In Dogecoin, I'm not really sure how many people are trading it. All I can see is that the volume is very low. The largest volume day that we had was back here on August the 5th, and since then, it's almost nothing going on. I'm not sure how easy it is to manipulate this market, right? Trying to figure out here on market cap. Let's go and see Doge. So there's 121 billion Dog coins in circulating supply. Trading volume in the last 24 hours, it's 30 million with a market cap of $293 million. Let's see here. So this will be the price of Dogecoin, right? From like its creation on January 2014. Or maybe. Does it go farther back? No, that's it. Anyways, based on the popular Doge internet meme, here's some info about Dogecoin, right? It's a cryptocurrency that it's from Litecoin December 2013, has been used primarily as a tipping system on Reddit and Twitter to reward creation. I've never seen it used for a tip, man. I've never taken it or anything about that, right? Dogecoin was created by Billy Marcus, right, from Portland, Oregon, and Jackson Palmer of Sydney, Australia. Had emphasized Doge as a fun, light-hearted cryptocurrency that would be have a great appeal beyond that core of Bitcoin audience. Now, like I said, Dogecoin is one of those weird coins. It's marked 29th on the market cap out of like 2,000 coins. But again, it depends on how liquid it is, right? That's something that I would definitely look at because if you gotta, like I said, if you gotta get out of a position, you want to know that it is commonly traded so that you can like buy and sell as you need. Otherwise, you buy and then if no one's buying it back, you're just going to be holding on to that until someone wants to buy it at a lower price. Especially, you have to look at the exchanges, right? So if you never use CoinMarketCap, you can go here and see the exchanges and see how much it has moved in the past 24 hours on what exchanges. And then you can kind of sort of determine what exchange might have the most volume. If I were to do any kind of Dogecoin, I would probably choose one of the major exchanges, right?